No, I'm not. No. Waiting for my guest to come here.
Coming? Like, to be connected on the phone?
Yeah. Close the door. Because I'm waiting for my guest here. That's my babies.
Ah!
All right, guys, waiting for Peter and Phyllis to join me back. I think they're having some problems. I see Peter here. Let's try again. Peter, I sent an invite. Peter should be joining me in a minute from now, so we can start this broadcast all over again, because I think I lost them. They are the founders of Layby. They're based in Australia, Melbourne, Australia. So Peter and his wife, Phyllis, they're going to be joining me in a second from now. I'm sending an invite back to Peter. We're talking about the land acquisition in Kenya. So if you want to own a land and you want some good programs, I do have. They're going to be talking to us some of the programs I do have. I think you pay like $10,000. That's like $100 every month for 10 months. Then you pay the remainder of the money once you finish. Okay, I seem to have them back. I think they went inside. So sorry about that, guys. It happens. Don't feel bad. Technical issues. So welcome back. Let's talk about this. The land. Okay. Where's Peter? I can't see him.
Peter is just making sure that the phone is good. that doesn't happen
fine.
Again.
It does happen. Don't worry. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't stress about that.
Yes.
Yeah, the other day I was trying to connect I had a guest here, but my phone kept on turning upside down, and I had to switch the phones because I didn't know what was going on. So this stuff they do happen. So as Peter get back, yeah,
yeah,
so,
yeah. But yes. So hope we're clear now.
You're clear now. I can see you clear. It's nice. I think we have good forum here. We have about maybe 16 people online right now. So that's a good forum right now. So, are you guys running errands, or are you guys outside or something?
No, we were just outside. We wanted to station outside the first half of the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
And then that we wanted to be inside just to change sceneries.
Oh, but the other one was good too. It was about 20 minutes and it was good. So we're good. I already uploaded the first introductions, so that's good to go. So if you can do the properties, and we can see whether we can combine them together with the financing. But let's see how it goes, depending on how long it's gonna take us. So we were talking about Naivasha, and Naivasha, this is about 70 kilometers away from Nairobi. And I think most people, they know about that. Can you tell us some of the things, if somebody wants to go to Naivasha, some of the amenities around your properties somebody will be looking for?
Okay. Our property is located in a place called Mirera.
Okay.
Mirera, 7 kilometers from Naivasha town.
Okay.
Right by Mahia Road.
Uh-huh.
Where the actual land is a kilometer from the busy Mahia Road.
Okay.
So you get in for just a kilometer. And over the other side of the road, there's a Suswa substation.
Mm-hmm.
And another kilometer away, there's a Suswa railway station.
Okay.
So it's part of the railway station for Mombasa, the gauge railway is actually going to be passing through Naivasha.
Okay.
It's a very, very good project and a good piece of property, because it's supposed to get there around next year, because they just finished till Nairobi, so they have to build it to Naivasha. And where our property is around 2 kilometers from the Suswa Railway, which will be part of that network. And then there's an internal container depot that is being built in Naivasha. The reason for it is, most of the countries around us are landlocked.
Yes.
So they need to use our Mombasa port to actually ferry their goods. So because there's a lot of congestion on the roads, what we thought as a country, and I think the East Africa region, was to decongest the Mombasa port. And how it will happen is that the trucks will be getting to Naivasha, loading off all their wares on the railway, and then the railway will be heading straight to Mombasa. So you can see how open up Naivasha. It will be an industrial hub as well. And of course, not bypassing the issue of tourism. There's the Menengai crater, there's the element, there's all those things, the flora and fauna, Hell Gates, all
Mount Longonot,
Mount Longonot, Lake Naivasha itself.
Yes.
In fact, our property is less than 20 kilometers from Lake Naivasha and also from Mount Longonot, but very beautiful views because it's a bit elevated, so very beautiful views.
Yeah,
so,
I've been to Naivasha and it's a very beautiful place. Can you tell us, do you have any primary schools around there, your properties? How close are they, if they have one there? Any schools?
Because it's only 7 kilometers from Naivasha town.
Okay.
There's so many schools. In fact, even if somebody wanted to actually go to Naivasha town for school, it is very welcome because the road network is wonderful.
Yes.
And then there's a Buffalo Mall. I don't know if you've been to the Buffalo Mall. You
haven't
wonder
been there,
or not. Beautiful as well. So it's really interconnected. And then, in fact, there's a stop at the property, at the land. There's a stop, which is called Hakanio. So that's the stop. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Using, there's a stop there. Yeah.
Okay. And how much, if you can, let's talk about the options we have for this Naivasha property. If you can tell us some of the options you guys have, and I think you have more than two. You have 2 options there. If you can talk about that. Yes.
So we do have, one of the first option is 850,000 for an eighth. It's a big 0.045. It's actually big eighth, and that you pay a deposit of 400,000 Kenya shillings. But again, you don't have to pay it as a lump sum. You can pay in small equal installments of 40,000 per month for 10 months. And then the remaining balance you pay in 2019, April 2019 is when we'll the remaining balance. And definitely by then, the gauge railway standard gauge railway would have reached there. So you can imagine the value of the land, how it will be. But for us, we'll have gotten into a contract with our buyers. The price will stick to that.
So when you lock in the price, is not changing?
No, it doesn't change because we do get to sign a contract with our buyers. Yes, there's a contract, a legal binding contract, which means the person actually enjoys the equity that is derived from the land. So that's a phenomenon called controlling versus buying, owning. So you're controlling the land, and then when you get to the title at the end, then you're enjoying the equity as a buyer.
That's very good. And you say, just to make sure, it's 40,000 Kenya shillings for 10 months. And then you pay the balance of 450 in April 2019.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's good. Let's talk about option 2.
Yes, option 2, let me just refer, because that's not a very good option.
Okay.
Now, George, I would also like to comment. We did say that we are a company that loves to find problems and then come up with solutions for these problems.
Yeah.
Now, what Phyllis has been talking about, the land in Naivasha, honestly, you could have 2 options.
Yes.
You could outrightly and pay 850 outrightly.
Yeah.
Or you could go and pay it over a 2-year period.
Okay.
So if you do it over a 2-year period, what you're basically doing, you're spreading your risk over 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for instance, if you buy this block of land today and pay 850, literally you are risking 850.
Yeah.
But if you buy through our model, where you pay only 40,000 every month for 10 months and then wait until 2019, you've essentially drastically reduced your risk from 850 to 40,000 only. So, for instance, if in 2 months or 3 months something happens, we're not saying anything will happen, but something happens and the deal doesn't go right, you only lose 40 times 3, which is 120. But if you pay 850 now and something goes wrong tomorrow, you've lost 850. So we realized, because there is a huge trust gap, what solutions can we bring to kind of mitigate the risks that Kenyans in diaspora face? So we're really proud of this product, really, because it really lowers the risk for our clients.
Oh, that's a very interesting topic you just brought. Like you say, like the risk of losing like 2 months, maybe 80,000 Kenya shillings versus losing 850 if you just pay once. That's a very good strategy you guys, you're doing. And I was waiting for Phyllis to come with option 2 if you got it, Phyllis, please.
Okay, it's a payment of 38,750 per month. All right, and then for 10 months, and then the remaining balance will be 522,500 in April 2019. And because you're actually paying lower, a lower installment, so the price is slightly higher. The total price is 910. That's why it's not the option. Yes.
So what you're telling me are these properties are the same exact, but the prices are they are different.
Yes, depending on how much you're willing to invest now to put in the installments.
Okay.
You're putting 40 and somebody's putting 38. So you're working, the 40,000 should actually be better than the 38.
Okay.
And so, yes, that's why most people are going for the 40,000 option, so that they can save the other bit of the total price, which is 850 versus 910.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's good. So the next option, if I can repeat that for the viewers, is going for 910 Kenya shillings. You pay 38,750 for 10 months. Then the remainder is 522,500, and you pay that in April 2019, right?
Yes. Yes, that's right. Correct.
Oh, that's good. Let's move to the next property. This is Nanyuki. And again, I would like to tell the viewers, what is the ideal or amenities close to this property? What would attract any buyer to go to Nanyuki?
Okay. Now, Nanyuki, if you might have heard, is the new Karen, because a lot of people are actually building holiday homes, and there's a lot of progress happening in Nanyuki. There's lots of people. Number one, Nanyuki has beautiful weather. Number two, we have Equator right there, so it's a tourist town. Number three, we have Mount Kenya view.
Yes.
And now our property, we have the Mount Kenya view, and we have the Loldaiga Hills, view. And then next to our property also, we have the Olpejeta Conservancy. And I don't know if anybody has gone there. I urge anybody to go to the Olpejeta Conservancy. They've built a new estate called Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. It's a beautiful, beautiful concept. They built a 5-bedroom house for 35 million, but right in the heart of the reserve. So from your house, you can see the wild animals coming to get water from your balcony. Wow. So it's out of this world. It's a beautiful, beautiful project. So our project is near the Olpejeta Conservancy. Then other area that is near us is the Enai Golf Resort, which they're still building up. So it's going to be a very, very prime area, and their land is extremely expensive as well. So we are actually happy that we are next to it.
That's good.
And there's also Daiga Gardens, which is a gated community they're building, and also Mayan, which is Chris Kirubi's estate as well. Then further down, we also have Samuel Eto'o. People who love football would know Samuel Eto'o. He's built a school, a football academy, and it's out of this world as well, very environmental friendly. And it's built, down is classrooms and up is a stadium. So it's a very beautiful, out of, in Nanyuki. So our land is actually near all this, 10 kilometers proximity from all this. So you can imagine, as this is being built up, in the next 5 years, it will be a place to die for, you know?
Wow, that's very interesting. And I think in Nanyuki we only have like one option. If you can tell the viewers how much is it and how many months they're supposed to pay for this property.
Okay, so for Nanyuki is going for 295,000. That's the price.
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
Yes, 95. So you pay 100,000 deposit, but then the 100,000 you don't have to pay as a lump sum. As usual, there's that option of paying the 10 equal monthly installments. The other thing that I need to emphasize, when I say 10 equal monthly installments, that is the least acceptable amount. If anyone wanted to pay in 6 months, that's still all right.
Okay.
That's still all right. So it's not a fixed thing. It's just that the minimal that you can pay is in 10 equal monthly installments. So for Nanyuki is 100,000. So it means 10,000 per month for 10 months. You covered your 100,000. And then the remaining balance as well will be in April 2019.
Okay. And I was going through your documents and it was last updated in May. Is this April 2019 still in effect?
It
is that okay? It's still in effect. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So you're telling me, and this is 1/8 of an acre in Nanyuki, right?
Yes, it's 1/8 of an acre in Nanyuki. So what there is you just pay the deposit, and then you wait for 2019, and then pay as the remaining balance. What happens is the option will expire in March, but we normally require we give you a 30-day period. So that's why I'm saying you pay in April 2019.
Oh, wow. So if you're telling me you have like, this is like less than 3,000 US dollars. I have 1/8 of an acre in Nanyuki. And I can pay for 10,000 for 10 months, almost a year.
Yes.
And pay the remaining of 195,000.
195. Yes.
195, right?
195, yes.
195 by October 2018. And the other thing I was going to ask you is, how long does it take for somebody to get a title in this particular property in Nanyuki?
All right. So our products, we have the Chanuka ones and we have Hazina. Now, what we've discussed so far is Chanuka.
Okay.
What Chanuka means is you're actually coming in and styling up, meaning the titles will be ready when the option expires. So as we're saying the dates, March 2019, that's when you get the title.
Okay.
Yes.
So by the time you finish to pay the remaining of 195, but October 2019, you get your title.
Yeah, April 29. Yes, you'll get your title.
Okay, and we talk about this title thing when you talk about the blockchain, because I think that's a very good concept you guys have come up with. Let's talk about, and I'm trying to put each and every property here so the viewers can see it, the viewers can watch for themselves and know exact prices they're going for. Let's talk about Isinya Kajiado. If you can tell us, like, what would be the ideal, the amenities or the schools or anything in the close proximity, why would somebody go to Isinya?
Okay. Isinya, it's our phase 4. Isinya phase 4 is our project, our latest project. The total price is $390. Okay. So what you need to pay is, again, we're putting 100,000. So 10 equal monthly installments of 10,000. Okay. And then the remaining 290, you will be paying in October 2019, because it's actually the beginning of the project right now. So it's exactly 2 years. So 2019 is when we'll need the remaining balance.
Okay. Yeah, and I was going to ask you, how do we pay this money? Do we wire them, or do we write a check? Or if you can tell the viewers that, please, because I think that's very important, the mode of a transaction. Okay.
We have various modes of transaction. We do have the M-Pesa option.
Okay.
Our very proud Kenyan M-Pesa option.
Oh, yeah.
So we do have a number that you can pay to if you prefer a phone number, or we have the pay bill option, which comes to our bank account. So we do have that pay bill option as well. So there's a Lipa na M-Pesa pay bill, or the direct send number.
You wire the money, right?
Yes, wire the money. Then we also have the 3G platform. 3G is online. So you just need to get to our website and just pay through the 3G. You can accept credit
Oh,
cards.
wow. Really?
Yes, there's a 3G platform. The only thing with 3G is there's a surcharge, as you'd expect, because they're giving us a service. So that is also available as well. And then there's a normal SWIFT that you can transfer straight to a bank account.
Okay, that's good. And once again, I wanted to repeat that is in Isinya is going for
Yes.
390 Kenya shillings, 390,000 Kenya shillings. You pay
Yes.
10,000 for 10 months, and you pay the
Yes.
balance of 290 by
Yes.
October 2017, right?
2019.
Okay, let's move on. This is my passionate because I'm from Kiambu County, and I know
Yes.
the land in Kiambu County is very, very, very expensive. Even, you know, Kiambu sometimes is very expensive than some parts of Nairobi. So
True.
the
True.
properties you guys have
Yes.
is 3 kilometers from GSU housing complex.
Yes.
You can talk about some amenities around there,
Okay.
and then you talk about the options.
Okay, with Roiro, it's actually a Hazina product. What I mean by Hazina product, it means the titles are actually ready. So by the time you finish paying, you'll get the title. Chanuka is a longer term thing. It's like you're paying like ART slowly, but Hazina, the titles are ready. So it's a bit dearer, but you can actually start working on the land immediately. With Roiro, it's actually situated exit 13 for those who know the Thika Superhighway.
Yes.
Exit 13. So there's a GSU complex. So 3 kilometers into that Keganjo Road, you will find a place, Dekio Bustani Gardens. So our property is right next to Dekio Bustani Gardens. So you just use the same gate, beautiful gated community it is. And our property is called Plainsview Estate.
Plainsview Estate.
Yes, Plainsview Estate. So you do pass the Bustani Gardens, and we're just neighbors to Plainsview. Now we're Bustani Gardens, so ours is Plainsview Estate. Now those are a quarter acres. It's not an eighth; they are a quarter of an acre, and they're going for 7 million.
Okay, 7 million.
7 million. But the important thing to emphasize is this is a gated community and it's upmarket. Therefore, you will only be able to build in a certain way. They give you designs that you have to comply with.
That's even better. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the new Runda. This is the new Runda.
Yes.
So this is a place that you would live with your family comfortably. They have amenities. The water is available. The electricity is available. People have already started building, especially in the Bustani Garden side. People have started building. There'll be a church inside. There'll be a shopping mall. It's a real good community. So it's an upmarket, but it will be beautiful for any person investing there to call home. Very beautiful because there's different kinds of schools around there. The area is tarmacked. The road is tarmacked into the estate. And it's very beautiful.
And for this option, it's 7 million, and it's going for only 6 months. It's 6 months for equal installment on this one, right?
Yes. If one is able to pay cash, then there'll be a discount offered. So that's negotiable with cash price.
Oh, okay. Are you guys seeing a lot of people buying as a group and maybe splitting the profit once they build the house? Because if I can afford to pay for 7 million, and I have like a couple of friends here in US, we can say about 10 people, maybe we can come up with 7 million and just buy the property. Have you guys? Okay, that's good.
Yes, the only thing that you will need to know is it's a certain way of building. So you can't divert. It has to be, one of the structures. We have 5 designs, and even Bustani Gardens has 5 designs, just to keep the ambience of the place, environment.
The uniformity, okay.
It's the uniformity. Though there's, I think, like we have 6 1/8 commercial plots. If you wanted, there's one available for a kindergarten. There's one available for, is it a church? There's 6 of them for any person who is interested. Now we can be able to now just look through and give the information.
And how much are they going for? Does that mean it's 3.5?
No. They go for the same because it's a commercial. So they go for the same.
It's a commercial, so it's going to go for the same.
Oh, okay. Yes, only 1/8, but the residential are a quarter of an acre. They're bigger. But because they're residential, you're not able to do commercial in the residential, but the commercial you're able to do to run a business in the commercial, and they're very few. Yes.
Wow, that's a pretty good start. I'm very passionate about because my home is not too far away from
Yeah.
Ruiru because I come from Kwamaiko, which is about
Oh,
maybe 15,
yes,
maybe 15, 20 minutes drive to Ruiru. So that's
yes,
pretty good. Let's talk about Kitengela, Pinto. I think
yes.
is it Pinto?
Yes,
Kitengela?
we do have. So we have two Ketengelas.
Mm-hmm.
We have one in Milimani, an eighth, and across the road there's an area called Pinto. Pinto
Yes.
is actually a restaurant, but now they've closed down. That's why the area was called Pinto. So with the Pinto, we have four remaining, an eighth, and this you can build flats. So the
Okay.
area actually building flats because, of course, of shortage in housing. So people can be able to alleviate and help government to house people. So you can build good flats around there because, and the return is wonderful. And these are only going for 2.5 million. And then you can also spread in 6 months, maximum of 6 months.
Okay.
Milimani, just one remaining.
Mm-hmm.
And that one also is a residential area, but you can build 2 townhouses. One you settle in and one you can sell. A very beautiful place as well. And that is also going for 2.5, but then you can do it in a maximum of 6 months. For this one, the titles are ready.
Oh, they're ready. Okay.
You had the lump sum, you can, yeah, we can go ahead and transfer.
And how long does it take for the title to come out? If I pay for cash today, is it about 2 weeks or how long?
No, it doesn't take 2 weeks. That's one of the things that is, we're praying that changes with the Kajiado County. This year has been quite dramatic.
Yes.
You remember, I don't know if you've been following, the Kajiado County was actually closed because of corruption.
Yes.
Or they are trying, the anti-corruption agents are trying to streamline things there, and we have a new governor, so we are hoping things will improve.
Yeah.
So we normally tell people 3 months, to give it 3 months.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's in the hands of the Kajiado officials, the government officials, so you can only just keep on pushing them. And yes, but the titles will come out eventually.
Okay. Okay. And Kisaju B.
Yes. Yes.
This is in Kajiado County as well.
Yes. So now what happens is once you've moved from Kitengela, the next town is Kisaju.
Okay.
And then after Kisaju, then you go to Isinya. Okay,
Yep.
so that's how. So Kisaju is actually educational hub of Kajiado because there's lots of universities. There's Kampala University,
Yep.
there's East Africa University, there's Catholic University, there's USI University, there's KCA University. So it's a very great area, prime area. Actually, when I went back, after being in Australia and I went back to visit, I couldn't believe how it had changed. And therefore, we're having Kisaju A and Kisaju B.
Okay.
Kisaju A is going for 700 and Kisaju B is going for 550. These are also 1/8 of an acre. There's a lot of developments around there. With Kisaju A, it's only 500 meters from the road, and that's why it's Diara. With Kisaju B, it's 900 meters, but because there's no direct road, it's around 1.5 kilometers inside through the road that is there. So, but it's a beautiful place. And what we are selling, the prices are really, really underrated. Because what has happened, people buy the blocks of land, and when they go to pay the stamp duty, they're surprised by the valuation. It's much higher than what we're actually offering them for.
Okay, so you say Kisaju B, this is in Kajiado. It's
That
along
as
Namanga, Nairobi
Yes.
Road, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's the next town after Kitengela.
Exactly, exactly.
And
In fact, yeah,
yes, and the plots are going for 550 for an eighth.
for an eighth. And
Yeah.
Kisaju A 700 for an eighth.
And the option you only have is 550 for 6 months.
Yes, because these are Hazina products. The titles are ready.
This is not a Nuka, it's Hazina product, right?
Hazina. Yes, it is.
Okay, good, good. Moving on, Kiserian. I like Kiserian. This is good. Kiserian is still in Kajiado County. This is a more upper scale than Kitengela and everything. Yeah. So, if you can tell us like amenities around there, like what we can expect to see if somebody is willing to move to Kiserian.
For Kiserian, I think there's only 4 that are remaining because it's been a week. And what happens there is we're only 1 kilometer from the road, the Kiserian Ngong Road, and it's 3 kilometers from Kiserian town where this property is. So it's actually on the road that leads to the property that is 1 kilometer into the property is called Kaurai Road. So, and there's built up. People have built residential. It's not commercial, it's residential. So
Okay.
people are building and also at the same time. And it's a beautiful green place, has electricity, ready to go. People are really building up. It's a built up region. Yeah, it's really built up.
Okay. How much are they going for the 8th?
So we have the 8th and we have the a quarter. So the 8th is going for, let me just make sure I don't confuse. The 1/8 is 1.5.
1.5, yes.
But the quarter is 2.5.
And quarter is 2.5. And this one, they have like 6 months equal installments.
Because it's a Hazina product, the titles are ready. So you can do cash and get the title, or you can opt for the 6 months as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. The other place is very interesting. And I have interest in that place is Namanga, because you can actually do farming in Namanga.
Yes.
The prices are very cheap
Yes.
in Namanga. If you can talk about the options and in your particular property, what is the amenities close to Namanga, or is it just like open? If you can tell us, the viewers, about that.
Okay. With Namanga, I don't know how many people have been there, because it's really changed and developed because of the East Africa community. So the Tanzanian side of the border, they finished the office, but the Kenyan ones, I think they must have finished now in this year. And most important, they were actually doing the roads in Namanga town and trying to reorganize Namanga town to be more modern. Now, our property is 15 kilometers from Namanga town, and it's located on Namanga Amboseli Road. So it lies on Namanga Amboseli Road. So the Namanga Amboseli Road is before you get to the city, before you get to the town, you turn left. And that's the road that leads to Amboseli National Park. So we're 15 kilometers into that road. And Amboseli National Park is another 60 kilometers away from where we are, our land is. Most important, where our land is, we're 500 meters from an airstrip. It's not built up yet. It's a 60-acre airstrip. It's not built up yet, but choppers land there for tourists going to Amboseli and for tourists also going to Arusha. So it's very prime. Once it's built up, it will be, gold. So we're right there. And the most important, there's a Mount Kilimanjaro view. Early morning and late evenings, Mount Kilimanjaro view. It's quite scenic. Namanga is very dry, but a lot of people are trying to rehabilitate it. Near our place, there's some nuns who are growing beautiful vegetables, and the people who are bringing the greenhouses also to Namanga as well. So it's tourism. It is beautiful if you can build holiday homes for people who are going to Arusha, for people who are going to Amboseli, So it's really prime. And the most important thing is, because we lie on the Namanga Amboseli Road, once they tarmac it, they should have started tarmacking this year, but because of bad politics, it's been deferred. So there'll be tarmac right to Amboseli National Park. And you do know the Namanga Amboseli Road also connects now from Amboseli National Park to Oloitoktok, and Oloitoktok to Emali, and then Mombasa Road. So it's really connected. Yeah, so it's beautiful property.
That's pretty good. And it's going for 399,000 Kenya shillings, and we pay for 10,000 for 10 months, and then you pay the remaining of the money by April, which is 299,000 by April 2019.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And we know by then that road will already have been tarmacked. Right now it's an all-weather road, so you can't get stuck anywhere. But when they tarmac it, it's going to be gold.
Okay. And I think the last one that I have for you is Eldoret, which is really good. If you want to talk about the Eldoret, the options and the amenities close to your property in Eldoret.
All right, Eldoret. I'll let Peter run.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Now, George, I just want to stress a few things about the company. I've seen some comments that have been rolling in. Guys are wondering whether they would sign a contract. Guys are wondering whether they can view the land.
Yeah.
Guys are wondering, whether they pay $850. Are they going to get a refund? So these are issues I would really want to talk about. So number one, Land Layby Kenya Limited is ISO 9001, 2015 certified. So what that means is if you look at our systems and compare them to the Western world, we are at par. Yeah. Now, I don't remember seeing any real estate. I don't know whether there's any real estate company in Kenya that is ISO
No.
certified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we take a lot of pride in that, and thank you, our team in Kenya, for working too hard to make sure that we maintain the standards, ISO standards. Now, secondly, we do sign contracts. All our clients who buy products from us would sign two types of contracts. There is a call option contract and a sale agreement contract. Paul will talk about this later on. And these contracts are binding. And they protect our clients. And they are fair. They are basically fair contracts. Like, for instance, if you are purchasing Chanuka, we will tell you that we promise that on such and such a day, we will deliver your titles to you. But in the event that we are not able to, then this contract is null and void and will refund you all the monies that you've paid us. So that's how strict we are. Now, where are we going? Where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years or 10 years? So we have a huge dream, and whatever we are doing now is only, these are only building stones for us to get to where we want to be in the next 10 years. So we are very careful how we deal now. George, when you buy our products, let's talk about Eldoret. When you buy Eldoret, you will pay us 30,000 every month for 10 months, yeah? And then we give you until April 2019 to pay us the balance of 550. But after you've paid your 300,000, we give you a document that we call a land options document. So what this document says is, George has promised to buy this block of land in 2019, and we will keep it for him for 850. It doesn't matter whether the value of the land appreciates to 1 million or 2 million. George is only going to pay 850, a total of 850 plus the cost of land acquisition. That's it. So assuming, George, in 2019, January 2019, this block of land that was 850 2 years ago is now 1.5 million. You've essentially made 650 on paper. You've actually made an equity of 650 on paper. So it is correct to say your deposit that you made with us, the 300,000, is worth 300,000 plus 650. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we also lower your risk such that if you are not in a position to give us the balance in April 2019, we give you an opportunity to walk away, and you can actually walk away by assigning that product to someone else. For instance, you found John, who is interested in your block of land that you bought in Eldoret. You could sell your deposit to John, but you'll be telling John, hey, John, you know what? I bought a block of land in Eldoret. I promised to buy a block of land in Eldoret 2 years ago. I promised to pay 850, but it's now 1.5 million. So I'm going to give you this right for you to buy this block of land at 850. So how much are you willing to give me if I have to give you this right to buy this block of land at 850? Does it make sense?
It does, yeah.
John will be like, all right, you know what? You paid 300. I'm going to pay you 600. Yeah, give me that right so that I can buy this block of land for 850. So basically, we have reduced your risk. And we've actually also helped you increase your return on investment, because all you did, you invested 300,000. You did not invest 850. You only paid 300, right? And you've actually made 300 extra. So your return on investment is 50% per annum. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So with Eldoret, Eldoret is actually the new Karen of.
It's Karen, yeah.
I mean, Kapsaret. Kapsaret is the new Karen of Eldoret. Yeah. So this block of land is just 7 kilometers away from the airport, the international airport, and 7 kilometers from the CBD. It's actually just within the vicinity of very prominent people. There's quite a number of prominent people who live around there. And there's this one prominent person who is just next to us, actually, a 4-year-old boy standing on our property. If he throws a stone, it will land probably into his bed.
Is that Ruto?
No, no, we won't mention. No.
Just asking.
Yeah. So it's next to Lavington. There is a Lavington estate around that area. There's quite a number of schools, and most importantly, there's going to be a bypass. I think they call it Kapsaret bypass. That is going to be built probably in the next 1 year or 2 years. We don't know. Really dependent on the council. So it's a beautiful, beautiful block of land. It's got beautiful views. You can either do farming, you could build a retirement home or a holiday home, because there's an escarpment and it's just next to the water. It's beautiful, and it's a big 1/8. It's 0.05. So it's pretty big. It's almost 80 by 100. Standard 1/8s are usually 50 by 100. This one is almost 80 by 100. It's pretty big. And the payments are very, yes, it is big. The payments are quite affordable, only 30,000 every month for 10 months. Then you take a break until April 2019.
Yeah, I do want to say that somebody made me like laugh. Is somebody here called these Maggie say, when I say about it's Ruto, he say, "Don't chase us away, George." I think that was pretty funny, but thanks for the comment. So can you read about the comments here? Then we can answer the viewers, some of these questions they have here. Then we can move to the next phase about the financing, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's start from the beginning here. Hopefully some of these people who ask these questions, they're still online.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with, I think Zach Campbell have asked questions here. Let's say with Penny Wangoi, she's asking, if I pay you $850 up front and something happens, are you saying you won't refund? What legal documents will I say if I send a document and aren't both parties held responsible? I think she's asking about if you pay up front versus paying like installment of or whatever amount, whether it's $40,000 a month, whether you guys are going to refund the money if something happens, or if the buyer circumstances changes. If you want to, comment to that, Phyllis, please,
okay.
or Peter.
Okay. So number one, we are very careful because our vision is great. We don't want negative experiences. So we make sure that if George is going to buy a block of land from us, George is not going to have any negative experiences. So we are very careful. When it comes to procuring land, we are very careful. For instance, before we even get into a land purchase agreement, we do a genealogy history. George wants to sell us a block of land, 300 acres or 200 acres. So, George, we need to know how many, you say you have one wife. Could there be other children that can come up and claim ownership of this block of land? So we do a genealogy history. We sit down with everyone, all the stakeholders, and we make sure that this particular block of land will be good for us and our clients. Now, secondly, we've worked with advocates who have been doing conveyancing for a long time. So we develop contracts that are binding and contracts that protect our clients as well as protect us. So they're very fair documents. We will refund you money. For instance, if you buy Chanuka and we promise that we will give you titles in April 2019 and it doesn't happen by April 2019, then we do have a set definition of things to do, right? And after we've gone through all those arbitration issues and we can be able to solve or give you a block of land, yes, you do get your money back.
Okay. Let's see what they can do.
Let me clarify. Most important is if a buyer comes and decides on a property and chooses maybe one in Eldoret and one in Namanga, and they sign the contract to actually start controlling the land, and they do pay the deposit as agreed, and then they change their mind at the end, we do not refund the option fee. But there are strategies, because what it has meant is we could have sold it to somebody else, but because you've actually promised by paying the deposit, you're coming back to pay us the remaining balance, then we cannot be able to sell it to somebody else. So the option fee is not refundable unless death happens. Then we can be able to refund it to the next of kin, because we normally ask for next of kin. But in any other case, the only way out is to find somebody else who's interested in the block of land. And then you can exchange, and then the other person now will need the remaining balance from this other person. For that, we normally just charge 5% because of administration fee, because we have to change the contracts. But that is the only way out for somebody who's actually paid the option fee. And we actually give you something we call the option certificate. So that one you can be able to exchange it with somebody else, and then you can be able to get out. But the option fee is not refundable. Even in the contract, it's very clear, because we want to be as clear as crystal by the beginning, so that we know the situation only where it's actually refundable.
Okay, and somebody else, Baine Thor, is asking, if I pay the $295 up front, is the title ready immediately? And I think she's talking about this Nanyuki property, which is costing about $295,000. And what do you say about the title?
So George, I think what we need to understand is we've got two types of products. We've got Chanuka and Hazina. Chanuka is like buying properties off the plan. So with Chanuka, the titles are still in the process of getting ready. They are not ready. If you're buying Chanuka, the titles are not ready. So we don't recommend that you pay everything up front. But if you want, that's fine. But we will insist that we cannot deliver titles until such and such a date. But for Hazina, the titles are ready. So if you want to pay everything at once, that's fine. You get your title tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
The next question is...
Let me add to that, yeah? For somebody who wants to pay us the $295 for, let's say, Nanyuki, they have all the $295. One of the strategies that we help our clients is to ask them to actually think through the process, okay? If you pay us $295 today, the titles will be ready in 2019. So in essence, you put $295, you're holding on to one piece of plot with that $295. So we tell you, our aim is for you to work smart and not hard. So with the same $295, do you know you can control 3 plots as opposed to 1?
Wow.
And wait to actually pay the remaining balance. If you're unable, you can get one person to sell it off to and maintain your 2. So you're working smart and not hard. $95 will give you 3. And of course, you know, equity it will develop. So we don't want to be selfish. Yes, we want the money, but we want to educate our clients to actually work smart. What's the point of holding onto the property, one property, yet that same amount of money can help you control 3, you know?
Wow.
And so, yeah.
That's pretty good. And George Wayaki is asking, how do you go about viewing the property, and if the property and property allocation before purchase? If you can talk about that. I knew I read about that. You guys have that service of taking people to the plots and seeing the, free of charge. If you can talk about that.
Yeah. So that's a very good question. And I will probably start by saying most of our clients are in diaspora. We've got quite a number. Like, for instance, our first project was probably 90% of it was sold to Kenyans in diaspora, Kenyans in Australia. So how do they buy without viewing? So we have a meticulous system. We have several levels of membership. And of importance or of interest is a Premium Plus membership that confers a number of benefits. And one of the benefits is ability for the member to be taken to the site free of charge. So yes, you could actually appoint your relative, you could appoint someone to come to our office, and we will take them to site on your behalf.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Zach is asking, the title answers on Kajiado.land doesn't sound truly assuring. What if the corruption continues? Does it mean that the chances of getting the title are close to none? We're going to talk about the blockchain. You want to hang around for the next topic, because that's what the next topic is about. The blockchain technology, you have to listen as Zach Campbell. And that's one of the main reasons when I heard about Peter and Phyllis is because they're using the blockchain, and they're trying to alleviate some of the risk of these land corruption and land acquisition in Kenya. So you probably don't have to answer that question until we go to the next topic about the blockchain. If Zach Campbell, you watching, you want to tune in for the next session about the blockchain technology, which is kind of like the Bitcoin, but we don't want to talk about that right now because we're going to go to that next topic after this broadcast, right?
Yes, that's okay.
All right, okay. The next question is about Eric Amigo. How will I prove a genuinely, because you know what happens in Kenya about land and housing campaign. Later on, after someone finish paying, again, I am inviting you to watch the next about the blockchain. This is the reason why you're here. They have a very good strategy. They are trying to fight this corruption by this technology. If Eric Amigo, you watching, can you please join me on the next broadcast, because we're going to be talking about the blockchain, because that's the question about, I think, kind of jumping ahead. You probably don't know that, but they're going to be talking about, when you talk about the financing, they're going to talk about the technology they're implementing in Kenya to fight this kind of corruption and these land acquisition programs. Moving on is whereabouts in Eldoret. I think you talked about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody chasing away from Ruto residents. You already talked about that. I think that was so funny. And that's a NASA. I can attest to that. She came to my show about 2 weeks ago. She is a NASA diehard. Great presentation from Lawrence Kanan. And where in Nanyuki? Sorry, I didn't hear where it is. If you can tell the viewer what about in Nanyuki, where it is, real quick.
Okay. Where our property is, it's called, it used to be called an I-farm, but an I-farm is 17 kilometers from Nanyuki town, which is like 19 kilometers from the actual equator point. Okay. But where we are 3 kilometers from the Nanyuki Rumuruti Road. So Rumuruti is a proposed new center for Laikipia. They want to move it from Nanyuki to Rumuruti. So we are 3 kilometers from the Rumuruti Road. And where we turn off is actually opposite the Alpajeta Conservancy. And then we are just close to the Nai Golf Resort. There's the Daiga Gardens. There's Mayan Estate around there. So it's actually in that vicinity.
Okay, what we're going to do right now, I think if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to take a pee break real quick. Yeah. I'm going to charge my phone real quick. In about 5 minutes. Please, guys, join us back. We're going to be talking about this technology called blockchain. Have you ever heard about Bitcoin technology? They use the same technology. It's a really interesting topic. You don't want to miss about this. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the whole financing, how you pay them, how you join their company, not really their company, how you join the land banking family. They have a different level of membership. If you really want to know how to do that, please join me on the next broadcast. We're going to take a break for about 5 minutes. We're going to be right back. And if you have somebody who is looking to buy the plots back home in Nanyuki, Eldoret, Kiambu, Ruiru, please, please invite them to these broadcasts because this is very important. They want to watch these. So, Phyllis, Peter, I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Sounds good?
Great.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Alrighty.
All right,
I'll see you
bye-bye.
guys. All right.